Hello, our dear learners. This is Red Kapusan, a senior high school teacher too from San Jasmira National High School, your teacher podcaster for today. I hope you are all ears to this very exciting episode of our regular podcasting. Every living thing is made up of cells. The broadest classification of these cells is eukaryotic and prokaryotic. This podcast contains engaging audio outputs and addresses most essential learning content, exploring the similarities and differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotes organize different functions within specialized membrane-bound compartments called organelles. These structures do not exist in prokaryotes. Your body is composed of trillions of cells, lots of different types of cells that make up different organs and other parts of your body. Your body is also where 10 times the number of bacteria call home sweet home. But don't be afraid. These bacteria do more good than harm to you. And besides, just in case you wanted to strike up a conversation with your tenants, you and your bacteria do have a few things in common. All cells share some common characteristics that make them living things. All organisms are composed of cells, the basic fundamental unit of life. They contain DNA as a heritable genetic material, and they transcribe DNA into RNA and translate RNA into protein on ribosomes. They can also regulate transport across a cell membrane and require chemical energy for some cellular processes. The number one biggest difference between the bacteria in your body and the cells making up your body are these tiny cellular components called organelles. You've actually learned a lot about organelles in other lessons without knowing it. Organelles are simply membrane-bound compartments within a cell, such as the nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi, and endoplasmic reticulum. You are a eukaryote. Your cells are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound organelles including a nucleus. Eukaryotes can be single-celled or multi-celled, such as you, me, plants, fungi, and insects. Bacteria are an example of prokaryotes. Prokaryotic cells do not contain a nucleus or any other membrane-bound organelle. Prokaryotes include two groups, bacteria and another group called archaea. Having organelles is a big deal for a cell. A bacteria cell gets along just fine without organelles, but bacteria are tiny. That's why we're able to have so many of them in our body without really noticing them. Our cells, though they're still small to the naked eye, they are huge in comparison to bacteria. Our eukaryotic cells are bigger in size with much more DNA. More DNA means more transcription, and more transcription means more translation. And more translation means more proteins. Bigger cells create the need for organelles. You can think of this way. If you only had 2 pairs of shoes and a few simple outfits, you could just hang up your outfits and put your shoes on the floor inside a small closet. Simple. However, let's say you have a shopping addiction and you have 7 different pairs of black pants, 10 pairs of shoes in completely different shades of brown and other colors, of course, and you hardly ever wear the same hat twice. You can imagine that you would need a walk-in closet, complete with shelving systems to organize everything, right? Well, organelles are an efficient way to organize everything that's going on in the cell, to compartmentalize cellular functions. That's exactly what a eukaryotic cell is doing, separating cellular processes and organizing its space. But don't be fooled by the simplicity of prokaryotes. Their smaller size and simplicity is an advantage to their lifestyle. Indeed, great things start from small beginnings. We may see a lot of differences between the cell groups, most specifically in the numbers and sizes, but this doesn't mean we can underestimate what these microorganisms can do. Yes, the very reason why we are all experiencing this pandemic is because of a very tiny and unpredictable organism. I believe at this very moment, you can now write in tabular form the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. With the given factors we consider as differences and similarities of these two cell groups, I am very certain that you can now finally classify organisms as to where they belong, prokaryotic or eukaryotic, after enumerating differences being discussed. This has been your podcast teacher, Mr. Redendi Gapusan. I would appreciate much if you rate, like, and share this episode. Plus, of course, leave your comments below. You might as well message me via Messenger with my name, Red Gapusan, or my mobile number, 0919-310-5213 for smart subscribers and 0917-4935-712 for TM and Globe subscribers. Be with us again in the next podcast episode. God bless us all.